Welcome to episode number 7 of the Contrarian Marketing podcast, where we help you find ideas you might not be thinking about. Today, we're talking about the big T, TikTok. TikTok has most engagement of all social platforms, but poses a privacy risk, at least in the US, and disappointed in its Q3 earnings, even lowering its Q4 forecast. The big question is, where is the platform headed? And Eli and I are going to debate that.
So Kevin, and we're wrapping up the year here. You ended the year as a consultant. You started the year as an employee, and I've been asking you to be a consultant forever. And you finally complied with my wishes on how you should run your life. How's it going? Like, how's being a full-time consultant and earning your own keep working?
Yeah. It was a great suggestion from you. And also, to be fair, a couple of other people also told me that I should go independent, and it's great. It's great. I love it. There are many things I love about it. I'm gonna give you 2 or 3. So number 1, there's this concept of a zone of genius, right? And this concept, to keep it super short, Google this stuff. We're going to put something in the show notes. But the basic idea of the zone of genius is that everybody is world class at something. Some people are world class connectors. They connect other people. Others love data crunching, or they're really good at telling stories, right? So everybody has something that they're really really good at. And I think being on your own, one of the upsides is that you can spend so much more time in your zone of genius, as opposed to an in-house role where you have to do many things, some of which you're maybe not good at. And there are many upsides to working in-house as well. I don't want to paint it in a way that being a consultant is the best and in-house is the worst, but that's something I've learned to appreciate. And then number 2 is just being a bit more flexible with my work hours. I love to work. I feel blessed that I can do something and make money with something that I truly love and I'm truly interested in and passionate about. But I also developed this, like, maybe a little bit unhealthy relationship and addiction to work. And I find that being a consultant is a great way to find a healthy relationship with work again, and work in a sustainable way, in a sustainable manner. Already have a bunch of great clients I'm super grateful for. I'm working with Snapchat, Riverside, Finder, a bunch of others, and you work with really cool people and you work with really cool companies and you'll learn a ton. So I'm going to pause here. I know you've been on your own for a long time, Eli. So tell me what I forgot.
Consulting is not for everyone. I say, like, having done this now almost 4 years and knowing tons of consultants that like did this and went back to full-time jobs. Some people don't want to run their own schedule. They say they want to, but when it comes time for it, they don't want to run their own schedule. So there's 2 things that I think make successful consultants. And now that I think about this, we got to do a full episode on this. We got to do at least 1 episode, probably more. But 2 things I think make successful consultants. Number 1 is you've got to be able to know how to manage your own time in the most efficient way possible. And I know, like, when my first day being a consultant, it's crazy. I could quit my job and I walked out, and the next day I was unemployed on my own. And like, that was scary. But I knew what to do that first Monday. I knew, like, what I had to do, wake up and do. And I'd say some people don't know how to do that, and they sort of get lost and they just do a lot of details. You have to be able to know how to, like, really build your business. And some people are natural at it, some people are not. Some people need to be trained at it and they can be good at it. So that's one. And the second thing that I think is so important that makes a good consultant is sales. You're selling yourself. And if you can't sell yourself, you can't be successful. There are consultants that are not good at sales and they get lucky for a little bit of time. They quit their job and the right contact comes to them and says, "Can you work for me? I have a project I need you to do." And they get that client, but then they don't know how to get that other client because they're not focused on sales. And sales means building that platform, building the pitch, figuring out the offering, figuring out how to retain clients, all those things. I think that is the most crucial thing. And as I look at the world of all my friends and all the people I know that are consultants, they all know how to sell themselves. So we got to dig into this in a future episode to really talk about the best practices. I've learned so much. You're going to learn so much. I love this. I love being able to control my schedule and decide who to work for. And we're gonna dump tips and ideas on people. But let's get into the meat of, like, what we need to talk about today. TikTok.
Let's get in the meat. Yeah, 100%. I want to do a full episode just to learn from you as well. And I made some mistakes that I think everybody should know. So we're gonna talk about that in the future. So I have TikTok on my phone. Every day I'm thinking about deleting that freaking app. I think it's a fantastic product. It's incredibly addictive. But I have not yet created actual content on TikTok, but you have.
Don't find my content, please. In preparation for this episode, I spent a lot more time on TikTok than I ever wanted to. I'm not addicted yet. I don't need to break this addiction just yet. I still think that it's harmful, and I don't want to get stuck in it. But again, just to learn more about the platform, I created a video yesterday, a quick video on SEO. Just that's my area of expertise, just to see what happened. I got 230 views on it, no comments, but I did learn how the platform works. One thing I learned, it's a creator's platform. And there's so many tools at your disposal, and it's hard to be a good creator. And I think that's where TikTok becomes challenging. The bar to being a TikToker is so low. You just need to like hold up your phone and make a selfie video. However, the really good videos go well beyond that. They're not shot on phones. They're not like stupid special effects like a mustache or a unicorn. They're real. Like these are creators, and it's just like saying, "Oh, nobody's going to watch movies anymore in a theater because everyone with a phone could just make a movie." Like that's not even correct. Like you need actors, you need effects, you need a script, you need all that. So TikTok is just like it's a platform where there's all these videos of people saying weird things, just holding their phones up, and then there's videos that are fantastic that are shot in high definition with scripts and sped up and slowed down with great original music, not just the hottest music that you need to dance to. So my view on TikTok after my week of TikTok, it's a car crash of humanity. And yeah, it's very popular right now. I wouldn't bet on its staying power. And I'll explain why, but I want to hear what you think.
See, here's the thing. I don't think TikTok has a future, but not because of the product and the platform. I think more so because of regulation. I really think the American government needs to ban this app. But about really quickly before we jump into that topic, the product is probably the most addictive product that there is out there. I think the algorithm is probably one of the few algorithms in the world that can truly compete with Google's algorithm. It has a lot of the young people, right? So, I mean, I have to go read the stats again, but young people are spending a crazy amount of time on TikTok, more so than on most other platforms. And if you think about just the platform wars in general, right? In essence, every platform competes with each other, right? Netflix competes with YouTube for attention, but they also compete with sleep, as they famously said, and they certainly compete with TikTok. So TikTok has started to grab market share from all sorts of these different companies simply because they get so much attention. And I think that like attention is power, right? And I think the power that TikTok yields right now opens up the door to all sorts of ways to make it a better business. Like once you have the attention, you can just start a bunch of business under them. They have been investing in e-commerce. There's this big question around search, and I think they have a couple of other great ways to to make revenue, make money, but also share that with their creators. So, do you think TikTok is a danger for Google search?
Not in the slightest. I'll tell you what, like I tried a bunch of searches and the quality is terrible. So, a bunch of reasons why I think it's not. But I'll start with what I found when I did searches. Let's say you do a search for the top places to eat in a city. You're going to find content, you're going to find engaging videos. If you're the kind of person that is led by influencers, by all means, you will find the greatest things to do. If you're the kind of person that really wants to curate your experience, TikTok does not offer that to you. You have to go through so many videos before you find something that's not on the popular list. On Google, you can absolutely find the specific thing you're looking for. I want something open these hours with this kind of menu, gluten-free, whatever it is, you can find that we all know we can do searches. Now, when it comes to the diversity of content, I looked for the term product-led SEO. That's my thing. There's one person that did a video on it. Thank you, Nick, whoever you are, for doing a video on product-led SEO. But then I looked for product-led growth, and all I found was LED light bulbs. So you don't have that content. So it's a creator problem. I think TikTok, from a user standpoint, super addictive, super engaging. But you know what? There are so many shows on Netflix that are also addictive and engaging, but then something else happens and you turn off the TV and you go outside. So TikTok is super engaging, super addictive. But if there's something else happens, I think you leave. Where TikTok needs staying power, and where I wouldn't bet on TikTok for the future, and we're going to talk about regulation, is creators. How do they get the creators to stick to the platform? So creators are not that sticky. Mr. Beast is on YouTube. Could Mr. Beast leave YouTube? and go to another platform? Yes, of course, because it's his content, it's his studio. However, YouTube makes it worth his while to stay there. TikTok needs to make it worth their while to get the right creators and not, again, the car crash creators who are just making weird videos that everyone wants to look at. I'm saying the creators that are the future stars. They're not just TikTok stars, they're actual stars. They're real artists, they're real interesting people. Like those people, TikTok needs to get them stuck on the platform. And I think an interesting parallel, think about Facebook or Meta, 5 years ago, and you would say, who's going to be the competitor to Facebook? Well, no one can ever compete with Facebook. All the users in the world are on Facebook. And now look at them today. They're declining in users because users have found somewhere else to go. And that place happens to be TikTok. So TikTok needs to make the platform sticky for the people that create the content, because without the right content, you don't get the users.
I do agree that creators are the key for long-lasting success, but I'm not sure about the Mr. Beast comparison. When you look at one of the most famous creators on TikTok, Charlie D'Amelio, she has almost as many followers as Mr. Beast, right? She has, I think, 100 million something, and Mr. Beast has 112 million, so they're not far away from each other. I think the important difference where I'm with you is that the monetization is very different. I think Charlie got, I don't know how much, but she got some money from TikTok, but she also made a ton of money from just influencer deals. Whereas Mr. Beast gets a lot of money from YouTube itself. I think YouTube shares about 50% of their revenue with creators. And I think that's what TikTok has to do as well in order to keep the creators and make sure they're not, making money in other ways. And that could also help raise and groom the next wave of creators on TikTok. See, that the interesting thing about TikTok versus YouTube is that the TikTok recommendation algorithm is so much better in my mind than YouTube, and that's why it's such a stickier product most of the time. But there are niches and verticals like SEO. Like if you check the results and the content for SEO on TikTok, it is bad. Let's just say that. I think they need to enter the niche creator circle or area, and they need to do that by sharing revenue directly with their creators. That's where I'm with you.
Totally. And one thing to call out about Charlie D'Amelio and other TikTok influencers is there's real talent there. So I think TikTok has created this environment where anyone thinks that they can become an influencer and anyone thinks that they can become famous. But Charlie D'Amelio is in actual TV shows and she's talented. Mr. Beast is talented. And so many of the people that are on these platforms, they're truly talented. They're not just people with selfie cameras. I think that's the important thing to really call out is TikTok has created this environment where someone could go viral off a single video and they think they could become an influencer. But if there's not real talent there, it doesn't have staying power. And TikTok and YouTube or whatever the platform is, you need to get those people that again are truly talented, truly funny, great dancers, whatever it is, the kind of people that they're not just popular on TikTok, they could sell out an audience in a theater, that they could have a Netflix show or an actual feature length show on TikTok that people would pay to watch. I don't think the world has changed that much in what we find to be entertaining. Yes, you flip through and you watch someone dancing, you're like, oh, that's cute. But after like 3 videos, you're like, they have no talent. So important to really keep that in mind that our idea of what is entertainment has actually probably not changed that much.
Yes, I'm with you there. But there are also different forms of content, right? There's also educational content. If I could just learn more stuff on TikTok, I would be on there so much more. Even right now, I maybe open the app once a week just to get a feeling for what's happening there. To be fair, there probably is some educational content on the platform that a lot of people benefit from. I know there are lots of like recipe and cooking tips and all that kind of stuff, but I think it's still we're still far away from where good SEOs will create content for TikTok, and where I then go to TikTok and discover some new cool SEO stuff or some growth stuff, right? Or some marketing stuff. So I think that's where TikTok needs to go. I think they need to open up revenue sharing for that to happen. And to be fair, I also think that a lot of people have faulty assumptions about TikTok. It's not just young kids dancing on this platform anymore. There's legit content. I even have one of my clients. They ran advertising on TikTok, and they're a B2B company, and the product is not super techy, but it is also not super close to a consumer product. And they got some legit leads and legit pipeline from TikTok, right? So I think it's underestimated, and that underestimation leaves a little bit of a window of opportunity for companies to be present there and create some good content. but finding or sponsoring content creators is still very very undervalued.
Yeah, and like you said, it's really the talent. Like whether and maybe the word isn't talent, but like the experts and authorities. So if you want to go onto TikTok and you want to learn about something complex, do they have the most complex person in the person that's truly the expert? Has that person been incentivized to put that content on TikTok for free? Or do they keep it on their own website, which is where Google brings them? Like if you are the expert in finance, you likely are not making a video of you dancing your finance. Now we're going to talk about some of our famous TikTokers in a minute, but like you need that authority content. So if you're going on SEO, I'm looking for SEO right now on TikTok. Yes, there is some content, but I don't know that the real experts are on there sharing their knowledge. And TikTok has to get those experts on there sharing their knowledge before this becomes the go-to platform that you go to learn knowledge. It is a platform. It certainly has grabbed the attention, but if it has staying power, I think it's about the creators and not the users. Users, yes, they're sticky, and users do things for a long time, but they can be taken. Look at all the users that Snap had, and then those moved to Instagram. Look at all the users Facebook had, they moved over to TikTok. And look at all the users that YouTube had and they moved over to Netflix. Users move, just not in the short amount of time, probably not the way shareholders want. But if you have creators, you can keep the content. You can keep your users sticking around for a really long time.
So let's talk a little bit about the future of TikTok. I think TikTok will be banned next year. Actually, the American Senate just waved through a bipartisan agreement without much pushback that says that government phones are not allowed to have TikTok. And I think that's the right call. I think the access that the Chinese Communist Party has to the app and to ByteDance in general is way too big, and the stuff that TikTok is logging. I mean, keystroke logging, but also all sorts of other information is nothing short of ridiculous. So I think it's a ticking bomb for privacy, and I think the American government has to ban TikTok.
I don't think they will. I don't think they can. I think that and maybe people are not going to like this, and in the comments on this, I don't think we have the tools in our democracy to ban private companies like TikTok effectively. They couldn't ban the Chinese company Huawei. What they did was they effectively banned them by saying they can't be in government buildings where government users might be. So then no private company wants to use the product. So it's banned, but it's not illegal. And I think that if they were to try to truly make it illegal, we have a democracy, we have a system of justice that ByteDance will hire lawyers and lobbyists, and they will have to get that through the Constitution and say, why should they be illegal? How can a private company be banned? My prediction is that the government's going to make it very uncomfortable for the platforms, which are Apple and Google, to host the TikTok app and provide TikTok updates to people that have the TikTok app on their phones, that they will drop it because apps like that have been dropped from the app stores. And then it's effectively banned. And then in order to get TikTok on your phone, you have to sideload it, and no one's going to do that, right? So that's done. I just think that if they go this regulation route, it will be challenged. Trump tried really hard and he wasn't successful. I just don't know that we have tools in our system of laws to ban things. Like FTX could have been banned. Crypto could have been illegal, and like they don't have the tools to make things like that illegal if the people want it. To really stop something, you just tell Google and Apple to do it, and there's no pathway for them to be successful.
You have a really good point there about the app stores, right? They are really the gateway to almost every company out there, right? Like even a Spotify, maybe rightfully so, constantly being loud about Apple's tax of 30% and how unfair it is, right? Several companies not only complained but also sued Apple for this because they understand the power that the App Store has. So I think there is something really true that you say, and if they would ban TikTok, that would probably be the easiest solution. However, at the same time, Apple is very very deeply embedded in China, production wise, politically. There would be some backdoor conversations that would probably avoid Apple kicking TikTok off the app. But another counter argument would be that the US government already imposes sanctions on lots of companies, and especially Chinese companies, semiconductor manufacturers and creators. And so I don't think it's completely unrealistic that the US government would put a sanction on ByteDance and either force the company to sell TikTok, right? Like let's keep in mind TikTok is the American or the Western equivalent of Douyin, which is the Chinese TikTok, which by the way looks very very different from our TikTok. I've never been able to try Douyin out myself. I don't understand or speak Chinese, but I also have some really good friends um, in the infosec space and hacker space, and they all say that TikTok is is basically a Chinese spy tool. So I think it's not unrealistic for to force ByteDance to sell TikTok. I also agree that they would probably push back and resist, but I think something has to happen here. American companies are severely limited in China, and I think we're at a crossroads politically, where we have to like rethink our relationship with China and level the playing field. Let's talk for a moment about how we or how marketers should think about TikTok and how they should leverage and use TikTok. What do you think, Eli? Should everybody jump on TikTok, or should people stay cautious because it might not have a future?
So this is the Contrarian Marketing podcast, and we have to disagree on something. I think TikTok could be possibly ignored for now. I think that given the potential of TikTok being deleted from app stores or deleted from laws, whoever it's going to be off of phones, it will go away. So I wouldn't invest too much time into TikTok as a platform itself. Like I wouldn't invest too much time into creating videos for TikTok, creating an account for TikTok. That being said, TikTok has taught us that there is a there, that users do like this kinds of thing, that users like short form video. So create short form video and think about how to engage users. Now, the thing is, and I was just talking to a client company about this recently, when you think about creating short form video, don't do it to build social engagement, do it to build a conversion funnel. So use your product to showcase your product, and don't just like build a following of people that want to see your employees dancing or your employees say funny things or your employee culture, unless like hiring is your challenge. Use TikTok to again build your brand and get people to buy your core products. So not TikTok, but like that short form video. So as a platform, I think it's okay for companies not to really invest in it just yet. By all means, advertise, because if it goes away, so you just stop advertising. But I wouldn't invest so much in building up that account just yet.
I take the other side here. I think, especially when I look at the results for SEO right now, I think there is a opportunity to create some cool content on TikTok for lots of niche fields, and to kind of get that window of opportunity, right? I think if TikTok should really sustain, and I would hedge my bets here, I think you want to be one of the first movers on that app for your specific field, whatever that is within marketing, or even if it's outside of marketing. And here's how I would do it. I would use TikTok as a repurposing channel. And I see a lot of popular, famous podcasts using TikTok as a repurposing channel successfully by basically uploading clips similar to YouTube Shorts with very poignant parts of the podcast, and that seems to work really really well. I know some people with large podcasts who tell me that that is one of their one of the biggest drivers of new subscribers and new audiences. And I think especially if you want to attract or talk to younger audiences, that might be even a bigger reason to do that. So I think right now I would hedge my bets. Again, I think that TikTok is not, I think they're going to encounter massive challenges, probably by government regulation, and would hedge my bets by using TikTok as a repurposing channel. And if there is a point at which it becomes clear that TikTok is going to be here to stay, then I would spend a lot more time to create more native content on TikTok.
All right, so it sounds like we're in agreement that TikTok might not be here to stay, and we're also in agreement that this is a future. The one thing I'd push back on is that I don't think this is early days, like early days for SEO, because this is so short form. If you get around to creating content next week or next year, I think you still have the same advantage as the person that was doing it in the past, unless you built a following. So with that, let's close off with like our favorite people that we know on TikTok, because following is something different. And again, I wouldn't invest in building a following, because if the platform disappears, like shout out to all those people that built their followings on Clubhouse, and I hope you found your home. But it's really important to build a following somewhere else that you own, for you created your growth memo. I have not done as much there off of LinkedIn and Twitter and other social media, but it's so important to really build a following that is portable for you and not just on a single platform. So the person I really think is awesome on TikTok is Miss Excel. Like, she creates really cool videos. It doesn't work so well for me because I'm sort of a reading learner. Like, I like to read something and try it. So I'll watch a video. I'll have to watch it like 60 times before I get how to actually do it myself. But like, I think it's so cool how she takes like a boring topic and makes it interesting and teaches. And Miss Excel will do just fine if TikTok disappeared. She can bring that content to Instagram. She can bring that content to her own website with Vimeo. And it's her following. It's not TikTok's following. But there are so many people that create content on that platform. And if TikTok goes away, they're starting from scratch.
Miss Excel is great. I really love how she built her business and the whole approach to her content. It's just so actionable. It's a tool that so many people use, and the course model is a great fit to the content. I want to name someone who does not have an actual business model behind it, but still has amazing content. Her name is Dr. Inna. Her full name is Inna Kanevsky, and she is a professor of psychology. And the content that she creates on TikTok is she basically films herself reacting to psychology content from other people, usually younger people, and basically debunks them. And it's just hilarious where you see like these young people saying, "Oh yeah, if this happens, then do that," right? And she's like, "No. This is you're creating, the science actually says, you're just enabling people to be stalkers." And she just debunks these like young armchair psychologists in the most hilarious way. So if you are on TikTok, check out Dr. Inna. Let me know if you agree here, if you like her or not, in the comments.
So what do you think? TikTok's getting banned, and put your exact date. What date does it get banned?
Tough. I think TikTok is going to get banned. I'm going to give a time where a limit, a time limit. I'm going to say TikTok is going to be banned by November of next year. What do you think?
TikTok's never getting banned. So because it's never getting banned, I actually think it gets shadow banned. Let's go with that word earlier, because you need less regulation to make that happen. So I think by the summer of next year, TikTok will no longer be as available on the platforms. Like, maybe Apple squashes it a little bit. Maybe they don't allow them to provide updates. Maybe they, I don't know, take away some of their ability to track. Google will completely squash it. I think that happens. I think Google's probably more incentivized to squash it themselves because they have YouTube Shorts and they have Google Search. And if the government gives them a pass on antitrust, they'll go for it. So I think by summer of next year, we will see a constrained shadow banned TikTok. But let's see who ends up being right.
We'll come back at it next year, and we'll wrap it up here. Eli, thank you so much, and everybody listening as well. I hope you have or had happy holidays, and we'll see you at the next one.
Yep. Happy holidays, happy new year, and can really appreciate everyone listening.
And now it's your turn. Head over to contrarianmarketingpodcast.com and subscribe to the free weekly newsletter to get a summary of today's episode, key takeaways, and community content. And while you're there, go to today's episode and leave your opinion in the comments. We'll feature the best thoughts in the newsletter and on the podcast. Also, if you like today's episode, please feel free to leave 5 stars on Spotify and Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to podcasts. As always, thanks so much for tuning in, and see you next week.